right. And there we are. So I appreciate everybody being here. Sorry for being a few minutes late. I was finishing up a phone call and, just was a few minutes late. That and in between dinner and all that, it's been a busy last couple hours. So let's start by saying hi. Again, thank you for those who are here already and those who are joining. But hey, Jindy, so nice to see you again. Cree, thank you for being here. It's nice to see you. Patrick A, it's nice to see you. Just kidding. Um, Babs, nice to see you again. Jendi, I already said hi. That Lauren Marie, thank you for being here. Very nice to see you. Maria, if you dropped out of this now, I wouldn't blame you. I feel bad. I could only come in for like a minute, and then I was in a meeting at work the rest of the afternoon. But I wanted to hear your live today, so I will be watching it on replay. But welcome, Maria. It's so nice to see you in here. Health, wealth, and hope. Thank you so much for coming again. It's so nice to see you. Cree, always good. Babs, hello, hello. Cat Green, hey, Cat. Cat, I think we might have been working together when tonight's subject happened. I believe. Could be wrong, though. So, is that everybody? I think I said hi to everybody. If I didn't, I apologize, but I think I got everybody. So, let's talk about it. I was, as part of my family, was on a reality TV show. It was crazy, literally. The show was called My Crazy Obsession. And if anybody has an account on what is it? Discovery Plus. Maybe it didn't happen. I may have been at a different place, Cat. It happened almost 13 years ago now. So that would have been 2012. So no, I don't think I was at Wellcare yet. So then no, it would have been before that. So no problem. Health, wealth, and hope. So yeah, so I was on. It was Cat. Yep, it was on my mom's Raggedy Ann collection. So if you happen to have anybody happens to have the Discovery Plus app, or you just go on to Discovery Plus on your computer, that episode is still out there. I mean, heck, it was on TV last week, which was crazy. But it's a show called My Crazy Obsession, and we were on season 2, episode 1. I believe the name has to do something with Raggedy Ann, and then the people who were on with us, because you split a 30-minute show. I believe they were rat people, like they collected rats and loved rats and had rats as pets and all that stuff. So I think it was called Raggedy Ann and Rat something. I don't remember. But again, season 2, episode 1, if you have Discovery Plus, of My Crazy Obsession. So it was quite the interesting. What word do I want to use? Experience, I guess. So let's see if I can find. All right, cool. I'm actually gonna share a few pictures with you. So give me 1 second to share. Hey, Daisy girl, welcome in. So nice to see you again. And I'm going to bring up YouTube on my phone so that I can see the comments you all are saying, or not, because it's not working. All right, me. Okay, perfect. All right, so I've got the chat up now. So let me go ahead and share or present, since it's present on here. Okay, you should already, if not soon, be seeing a lady dressed as Raggedy Ann, a bunch of pictures, a lady dressed as Raggedy Ann, and then a whole bunch of Raggedy Ann dolls and things like that. Yep, TLC Go is another one, Maria. It's on that. So, can you all see the pictures? Hey, Mod, thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for coming. Nice to see you. Let's see. Thank you, Health, Wealth, and Hope. I appreciate that. All right. So, this is my mom, who you're seeing on this, the one dressed as Raggedy Ann in the room with all the Raggedy Ann dolls. That is her. Let me tell you the first thing about reality TV. It was a great experience, but not much of it is true. So if you ever watch the episode, um, I'll be happy to answer any questions you have about does she really do this and things like that. So first of all, she never dresses up as Raggedy Ann. Um, this was something that TLC bought for her for the episode. And you always hear reality shows. You hear the words people say they're non-scripted shows. I'll be honest, I never saw a script. Mom never saw a script, and Dad never saw a script. There was no line learning. There was none of that. There was no script. However, the producers between themselves have planned out what they want to show. So think about it. The show's called My Crazy Obsession. Even though my mom was strictly a Raggedy Ann collector, that's all she did. They had her do things that made her seem a little crazy, like sitting in bed with all these Raggedy Ann dolls and a couple other things she did. So let's see. One of these is my dad. There's my dad. This is my late dad. Yes, you can say I look like him. I've heard it for 44 years. But my dad was such a great man, and I'm so blessed to have had 40 good or about 36 good years with him. He's always going to be a great guy to me. So yeah, and so that was him. They did. Yeah, Jindy, I am a replica. You were right. Babs, as far as how many Raggedy Anns can there be? It goes back to the turn of the century, 1900s. So there are a lot of them out there, and numerous companies now who make them or made them. Bless my mom, she had or still has some really old dolls. Um, my mom loves to go, "Hey, Kirsten, nice to see you again. Thanks for being here." So my mom has a lot of different brand Raggedy Anns, but she's got some from the 1900s. It's crazy. She has a lot of great stuff, and yeah. So that is my dad. Let me see if I come up. because I was on the episode and I don't see myself. Man, I was a star of the show. I'm the one that said, well, I don't know where I am. And that's okay. Well, I was in it. I promise. You'll see me in there. So they cast me as, oh, I love that Health, Wealth, and Hope. You have your original land doll from age 3. That's so cool. Um, so they cast me as like well, they didn't start this way, but I ended up being the disgruntled son because my mom had all these dolls, but never gave me a brother or a sister. It was just me. So, all right, I'm going to stop sharing that now and come back to the live. So, so they interviewed me. They interviewed me for about 30 minutes overall. And hey, Kimmy, it's nice to see you. Hey, Sweets and Beyond, thanks for coming back. Same for you, Kimmy. So, um, oh, did I miss William Brooklyn? I sure did. William Brooklyn, my buddy. Hey, man. So they started asking me questions about what was it like growing up with all these dolls. And the truth is, I didn't grow up with all those dolls. She didn't start collecting until I was out of the house. So, um, she may have had one or two, but nothing like the gigantic collection it became. So, so I'm like, well, it didn't really impact me much because I was gone by the time she got them all. And the producers were like, "Oh, well, that's a good answer, but we're going to retake it, and we want we want you to answer it if all these dolls were there when you grew up, how bad, how would that have been? Would you have been jealous, something like that?" So, okay, next time, Kimmy, I'll remember that. So so yeah, so like I said, no script, but they definitely steer it towards the story that they're trying to tell. And so then towards the end it was, how do these dolls really make you feel? And I'm like, I think they're odd. I don't and they're like, okay, well, again, that sounded good, but I want just, and at that time I'm like, I see what you guys are going at. And I just answered it. So I'm like, well, I think these dolls are creepy, and nobody's ever really that happy. So the fact that they all have smiles on their face just really bothers me. And then oh, what was it? Oh, I said, and once mom's gone, I have every intention of having a bonfire to get rid of all of these things. And they were like, that's perfect. I'm like, I saw what you guys were getting at. So, so yeah, again, no script, but they definitely steered it towards the way of the episode. So, it was absolutely insane and hilarious at the same time. Um, so it was a lot of fun, but it was hilarious because my mom has made a lot of friends, kind of like we have our community here. She's made a ton of friends in a Raggedy Ann community, and they were all messaging her, text message, Facebook message, saying, "He's not really gonna burn those dolls, is he?" And so, yeah, Patrick, forget about it. Heritage House dolls filled my house back then. Okay, nice one in Brooklyn. Um, but yeah, so her friends just thought I was really serious about this bonfire. So the show was on again last weekend. It was actually on TLC last weekend. And we always know when it's on because me and mom get friend requests on Facebook. We get messages that we have to accept on Instagram or Facebook. So we're like, oh, the show must have been on. And we looked and it sure was. So, so it was quite a crazy experience. And so even though I was interviewed for 30 minutes, I think I might have been used 12 seconds on the show. So, it is what it is. People always wonder about, well, people, you must get paid for being on a reality show. And um, the way mom was paid is they paid a site fee for the house, which wasn't a lot of money. I mean, we're talking about hundreds, not thousands, and not even high hundreds. It was under $300 for the site fee. And then they had these girls from the local college we have there, who's in their art program, come draw a mural on the wall and put a saying, stencil a saying on there as well. So, it was neat that they did that and cool that they made that. But yeah, reality TV doesn't pay much. Nowadays, they pay a little bit more, especially if you're on a, like recurring role. But it was a lot of fun. Health, wealth, and hope. I don't know the answer to that, but what she tells everyone is that she loves Raggedy Ann because Raggedy Ann is the only doll that has a heart on their chest. Every true Raggedy Ann doll has a heart on their chest. Sometimes it's stitched, sometimes it's just built into the fabric. It just depends. But yeah. Oh, William Brooklyn, your mom has her Betty Boop. I know a lot of people who like Betty Boop. Hmm. So yeah, so that was it. They shot for 2.5, almost 3 days. I wasn't in the other part of the episodes, but oh, nice. I miss James Gandolfini. I enjoyed him as an actor, especially in The Sopranos. Love The Sopranos. But but yep, it's just so neat that I got to experience it and really get to see behind the scenes how things work. So the episode, they were trying to make it look like she uh, was the leader of a cult of Raggedy Ann. Now my mom would never be a part of any cult, not her at all. Um, and So, uh, to begin the episode, it was Raggedy Ann's birthday, which that was actually true. It was her birthday. So the producers actually contacted a local place that has miniature golf and arcade games, Kathy or Cat Green. That would have been Malibu Grand Prix back in the day. It's gone now, but so yeah, they set up a party room and everything, and they told my mom to bring a couple dolls. She was riding around on the go karts. Um, she was riding around on the go karts with the Raggedy Ann dolls and talking to them, and they were rolling a ski. They were rolling skee ball with the Raggedy Ann doll. I mean, they really went all out for it. So, eh, I agree. Just kidding. Sorry, Sweets and Beyond. They're not my thing. I like to think on my own stuff, not have somebody tell me how I should be acting and what I should be doing. But nothing against them. If that's your thing, that's your thing. So yeah. So then after that, they had her, quote unquote, walking around the neighborhood, uh, recruiting people to come to her house for a Raggedy Ann gathering. So they had all these flyers printed out at the UPS store, and she was walking around the neighborhood. I saw my neighbor's house. I saw a couple of neighbors. Then they went to another part of the subdivision and just had her walking around waving to people. And yeah, so at the end of the episode, then there was a gathering at her house, and two of the participants in the gathering were those girls from the college. They said, "Here, we need more people. You come in. You do this." The ones from the college who did the mural for her, um, and some neighbors, some people from work, their children. That you, Mom?
It is.
You want to share something I'm missing?
Not really. I don't know what you would have missed, but it's the real me, not the Raggedy Ann me.
There's Mom. Yes, when she's not dressed as Raggedy Ann, because she doesn't do that except for the one time that they made her do it for the episode.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun, but yeah,
different
for sure, different for sure. So how many producers did we have? Like 6, 8?
Oh no, there were, I don't know, they were assistant things,
Okay.
but there was only really one producer, the guy Jeremy. He was the producer.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but the others were all helpers. And,
okay.
yeah, they all told you what to say.
Wow, there's a lot of hi Patrick's mom and hi Mom, nice to meet you, and
hi.
Yeah. She's
Nice
watching. She's watching on her phone.
Yeah, I watch every night.
She watches every night. So, so yeah. So, well, thank you.
All right.
Glad you came in.
Yeah, I figured everybody should see me not as raggedy.
Yeah. All right. So, so yeah, she had a good time doing it, but it was interesting because no matter what, they tried to push her to do things that she's like, that's not me at all. My people who see this and know me are going to know that is definitely not me. So that's the good thing, is they did give her some creative control so that she didn't, she wasn't forced to do anything. They always ran stuff by her beforehand. So because for one of the things was after going to that birthday party at the miniature golf place, they wanted her to go to a bar up the street and go relax and enjoy. My mom has probably never been to a bar, nor would ever go to a bar. Never been her, never will be her, and that's okay. So she was like, "No, I'm not doing that. Sorry, not doing that." Oh, sweet. Is it microwavable? Just kidding. Yeah. So, oh, Jindy, yeah. Oh, that's too funny. So yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's a plant, health and wealth, but I know it's a root. So it's definitely in the ground, but sweets, I don't know. Is it an actual plant? That's okay, Kat. Welcome. Um, I would, yeah, kind of like a potato or carrots, things like that. Jicama, if you like jicama. Jicama is another one that's on my yucca list. Sweets. Jicama, people say, "Oh yeah, it tastes just like a potato." Nope, tastes nothing like a potato. So Party Rock, hello, welcome in. Yeah, man, there's a good crowd tonight. Good crowd of people. I like it. Sorry, Jandy, not for me. I'm gonna leave that one up to you. Um, so um, so yeah, it was a really exciting experience to be able to do it. Luckily, they only needed me for those 30 minutes of interview, and I didn't have to do all 3 days. My mom and dad, they had to do all 3 days of shooting. So, sorry for them, but I was lucky. Being the disgruntled kid was a great thing. So yeah, so Kat, I was talking about, and you may have heard this before. If not, then I'd say go watch the replay. We haven't been on long. It was talking about my experience being on a reality TV show that was it was because of my mom is why I got to be on it. So one of her friends contacted TLC and said they did. They provided meals. Yes. Um, um, One of her friends contacted TLC and said, "I have a friend who has a really large Raggedy Ann collection." Um, and so the producers started reaching out to my mom via email, and they finally agreed on how the show would look after quite a few times because again they were trying to have her do things that were out of character for her and just there's no reason she should do things like that. So I give her a lot of credit. She stuck to her guns, and they needed her more than she needed them, so they came over. Oh gosh, a major firework block party, that sounds fun. Yeah, they didn't do anything fun like that for us. But yeah, so Kat, just talking about that experience and how reality isn't real. So just talking about the experience there. So so yeah, it was good. It really was a good time and a good experience. But yeah, every time I watch the episode, I catch something different. I'm like, hey, they moved that from one this place to this place, and uh, so it was good. And I wouldn't do it again probably, but oh yeah, and the show Cat was called My Crazy Obsession. So needless to say, the goal of the producers is to make her look crazy and obsessed. So that's what they did and tried to do. So she's neither. But it was a cool experience getting to see how the producers work, how the takes are shot, the camera crew, the guys holding the boom mic, when they all get in position and everything. So it was rather neat to see the whole operation. That was probably my favorite part of it. Well, Party Rock, we can have them come over and um, talk to you about your plants. It was actually funny because some of the other things on that season, so right before ours, was a lady who I believe it was a husband and wife who have rats as pets, as well as um, just they keep their dead rats. Other things, they got like a rat cemetery. That was one. There was one about a lady who was obsessed with bunnies, rabbits. Um, she has all of her dead rabbits in her freezer. Yes, I agree. No, no rats ever. So yep, there was the bunny lady who had all of the her dead bunnies in the freezer. She also collected dust bunnies and put them in a Ziploc bag. And then once she had enough dust bunnies, she would make a bunny out of them. So, Maria, if you ever want to give up on crocheting, you can do dust bunnies. Oh, how cool is that, Party Rock? That's always been a neat show. Um, did they, what was it? Move that bus, right? That's what they say. Move that bus. So yeah, I mean, there were some other things on that season. I don't remember all of it, but yep, dust bunnies. Extreme obsession, crochet yarn. Hey, there you go. Hey, that Laura Marie, no problem. Oh, Rabbit Stew, she would have been so mad at you, that lady, for saying that. But so prior to the season starting, my mom and dad, TLC actually paid for them to go on a media tour, and it was pretty neat what they got to do. So they got put up at a really nice hotel up in New York City, flown in, um, put up at the hotel in New York City, everything included, food. Um, they had to take a cab somewhere. Yeah. So they got all that included. And then that next morning, when they got up, they were uh, private card over to the Anderson Cooper show that used to be on in the mornings. So they got to meet Anderson Cooper and couldn't speak enough about how great he was and how nice he is and was. And he talked so highly of my parents on um, the show because he had them on. He talked to them, interviewed them, and he just talks so highly, especially my dad, of how much it's obvious how much he loves her to be doing this, and so it was really cool, and they had an absolute blast being up there meeting him. So thanks, Kimmy. I appreciate you coming in. You have a good night as well. But the rabbit lady happened to be on the Anderson Cooper show with her. So they had I think it was a psychologist come on, and he was like, "Yeah, the Raggedy Ann stuff's not bad, but the lady with the rats or the bunnies, I'm sorry, the lady with the bunnies, whoo, now that might be a mental thing." I was like, "Oh my gosh." um, Oh no, Party Rock. That's terrible. Ah, look at that cat. Yep. Too funny. Yay. Part of the crochet club. Look at you. Maria has so many cubes. Well, that's awesome. I still don't have any type of crocheted anything. I've only got my mesh hat. And I like it because it's light and airy, so I don't get hot with it on. But yeah, so that's the quick story. I could talk for hours about the episode, but you've heard everything you need to hear. Like I said, I really wasn't a part of all the other stuff. They did a 30-minute or a 20-minute interview with me that gave me maybe 12 minutes on the show. I'd say it's probably closer to a minute. So but one thing I did want to share tonight, this is a personal thing, and you all have been following along, so you know about it. But I've got my Buster home with me tonight. His remains came in uh, the other day, and I went and picked them up today. And I am so grateful and so happy to have my buddy back home. So he is on. He is going to be on this desk that I use for work, as well as to do these live streams. And he's always going to be here with us. I still can't help but think back to the show that I did the night before I ended up taking him to the vet, and how when I showed him that I was on YouTube and was reading to him all the comments and love you all were giving him, um, how he started wagging his tail, and that was something I hadn't seen from him in so long. That meant the absolute world to me. So, so yeah, it's it means a lot for him to be here. Um, he's back home, and that makes me so happy. Hello, Beepy Gate, good old petty dragon fruit. So yeah, it was nice to pick him up and have him come back to where he belongs. So I did want to share that because you all provided me a lasting memory of Buster that night on the show that I was doing. So it stinks that he's not here. I definitely feel the void and the gap that he filled. But now I know he's able to run around again. He's not struggling to move his back legs. He's not just randomly falling over or losing his balance when he would roll out of bed. It was sad to watch. So knowing that he's fully healed again, I know he's running around with all the other pups because that was his favorite thing to do. Oh yes, definitely health, wealth, and hope. Yeah. Kat, do you have a YouTube channel? I don't know if you do. Nope. She doesn't get on camera. I remember that from our work days. I'm not getting on Zoom until Pogue said we had to. I hated those. I was like, yeah, I'm not going on Zoom. And then the big boss, got to be on Zoom. Why? I don't want to be on Zoom. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me tonight. 20 people now watching live. That's awesome. 37 minutes into this. So if you weren't able to catch yesterday's, we hit 500. Actually, we're at 507, I believe, was the latest I saw. I haven't looked tonight. So that's awesome. We uh, we made it up, and yep, 22 watching now. So for those of you watching, I ask you, hit the thumbs up button there on YouTube. That way I know you liked it. It also helps the channel out when you like it. So thank you, that is awesome. Sweets and fun filters. Teams does have cool backgrounds. Yeah, but I'm still I prefer Zoom over Teams, but yeah, I want them to get a filter on Teams where like it's just my head and it's floating around the whole time. Like I've always wanted that. Oh, health, you're too funny. Nobody in here is ugly. Come on. But yes, Babs, that would be a lot of fun to be able to do that. It would remind me I'm a big Disney nerd and big Disney nut, but it would remind me of the Haunted Mansion. Madame Leota, her head is in the glass ball, and it floats around the room when you're in that room. So yeah, that's what I really want teams to do. Yeah, there you go. Yep, PP. Hey, Sam, welcome in. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate that. And Kathy, you prefer Teams now over Zoom. I like some things that Teams does. Um, it's definitely more advanced than what Zoom was. but for me, I use it for meetings. I use it for chatting, and it just gets too much sometimes. Yes, love it, Sam. Yep, the Haunted Mansion. If or when I would go to Disney. I was there in my heyday. I would go probably 5 weekends in a row. Just enjoyed every bit of it. But I had at the Magic Kingdom, I had to do the Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean. Some of the other stuff as well, but those are the two that were an absolute must. And then Space Mountain, if I could get a fast pass, because I'd been on it so many times, I didn't really want to wait what the wait times were just to get on it. But but yeah, so I really enjoyed that. And then Hollywood Studios was always Star Wars because I was a big well, I am a big nerd. Um, as well as the Tower of Terror. I like the exciting rides. Um, the Great Movie Ride was kind of cool, but after you had been on it a couple times, it just got boring. You could recite the whole ride. But yes, I love me some Disney. Definitely a Disney fan. I mean, heck, right next to me, I've got my two favorite Disney characters. One of those being Jack Skellington. He is number well, he's not number one on my list, but when it comes to spooky season, nothing beats Jack. And then favorite princess is Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And last but not least, my all-time, and it doesn't make sense because of who I am, um, my all-time favorite Disney character is Grumpy from Snow White. I am a huge Grumpy fan. Love how he stands with his arms crossed and pouty face, and during the parades, he's usually stomping around like he's all pissed off, and I love it. Maybe because that's not who I am, that's why I like it so much. But yeah, love me some Grumpy. I try to get a Christmas shirt every year from Disney, especially because they do a Grumpy one almost every year. They didn't do one this year, I don't believe, but a couple of years ago, it was one and it said "Ho ho no," and it had Grumpy's mean face on there. It was great. So I definitely wore that to family Christmas. Oh, that's so cool. Cat loves Grumpy, and hubby has the Disney Halloween Grumpy costume. Nice. That's so cool. Oh, yes, I did. Legos is something I did a lot of, not just Disney. I did a lot of Disney ones, but oh my gosh, I always did the 600 piece, 1,000 piece, the gigantic Lego sets. Those were so fun. Cat Green, I have done a couple of Disney cruises. I want to say I've done three. I did a Halloween themed called Halloween on the High Seas. That was a lot of fun. I did a Christmas themed Disney cruise called Holidays on the High Seas. And then I did just a regular one, no theming as far as like Halloween or Christmas, but still, it's Disney, so everything is themed. So yeah. Yeah, the Star Wars ones, especially if you get the I think it's called the Star Wars Ultimate something. Those are huge, like the Ultimate Star Destroyer and the Ultimate Death Star, just things like that. There's some massive ones. Yep, Halloween on the High Seas sounds amazing. It is amazing but think it's Disney. So, I mean, if you're a Disney lover, you would love every bit of it because everything is Halloween themed. All the characters are in Halloween costumes. So that's cool. And then same for the Christmas one. At Christmas, or not at Christmas, but during that season, um, all the characters are in their Christmas get-ups. So it's really cool how they do that. And one of the things that I found really cool in the lobby or the atrium when you first walked in the ship during the Halloween cruise, they had a tree there, and the tree had about one or two pumpkins hanging from it. Fake pumpkins, not real, but fake. Um, every night, some Disney magic happened, and the next morning there would be more pumpkins hanging from the tree, all the way up until the last tree where there wasn't a branch, twig, whatever spot without a pumpkin on it. It was really cool to see. That was something I did every morning. Was I went down and I saw that, man, there's more pumpkins on it now. But yes, Disney cruises are so much fun. Yeah, nice, Maria. Yeah, Disney is great. And if you can't be, I mean, I don't want to say if you can't be happy at Disney because there's a gazillion and a half kids at the parks. Doesn't make me happy. But I still enjoy the atmosphere, and I do feel like a kid again when I go to Disney. It's just, Universal's not the same way for me. I never go to Universal's and like, oh, the nostalgia is so great. I don't. It's when I go to Disney, I'm like, oh, and it's probably because as I was a Disney kid, my parents took me all the time. So, oh no, health, wealth, and hope. I'm glad they were impressed. It's a great time. It's so funny. My vacation plan, Josh, who's been on here before, um, and I get that, sweets. A lot of people do. Disney doesn't necessarily have roller coasters. They have a couple now, but nothing like the big roller coasters and thrill rides that Universal has. They also don't have Harry Potter. They lost out on that bid in what I have called one of the worst mistakes Disney has made because they, um, um, oh, who is it that wrote those? J.K. Rowling. Um, if it's J.K. Rowling, I know I'm probably going to lose followers for this, but I'm not a Harry Potter fan. Never read the books. Never watched the movies. Kat, I know you're probably disowning me right now. Um, but the Harry Potter land was offered to both Disney and Universal. Disney told them to go pound sand, and Universal's like, yes, absolutely, we want it. So I will say that the Harry Potter world that they have done is simply amazing. For somebody who doesn't care at all about Harry Potter, you really feel like you're in the city there, and it's really amazing. Ah, the small world. Thanks, sweets. I really appreciate that. I can't wait. Um, yep. Yeah, Disney missed out big time on that one, and it'll never make sense to me. I hated the CEO of Disney at that time. He was a complete idiot. Um, Bob Chapek was his name, but everybody in the Disney community calls him Bob Cheapskate because that's what he was. All right, health, wealth, and hope. Thank you for coming in again. So nice. Babs, I like that. Who's Harry Potter? I agree. Who is that? Oh, well, Sweets, you opened a door for me, so I have to ask about that now. Do you have a wand from Universal? The Harry Potter, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Did you get a wand? And the follow up to that is if you got the wand, did it select you or did you select it? Yeah, Epic Universe looks pretty epic. Uh, Super Mario World with the Donkey Kong ride. I'm like, oh my gosh, I loved Donkey Kong Country as a kid. No ones, okay. Nice, Sam. That's super cool. Let's see. Oh, Small World annoys me. Then we would have heard over the intercom on the ride. The ride has come to a stop because one of our fellow guests has jumped out. As we see you being escorted off the ride through the back doors. Oh, nice, sweets. Very cool. That's cool. And I do love how that you can make the wand do stuff throughout the Wizarding World and the one over at, well, I'm assuming it's going to be all three parks now. So at Universal Studios, at Islands of Adventure, and now Epic Universe. I bet you'll be able to use your wand to do stuff there. So I do think that part is pretty cool. See ya, health, wealth, and hope. Yes, Pirates of the Caribbean, however you want to say it. Love it. Yep. Um, and at both Disneyland in California and Disney World here in the US in Orlando, um, Johnny Depp dressed up in full Captain Jack gear. And at the end of the ride, here in Florida at least, um, there's a Captain Jack animatronic who's sitting in a chair in a room full of all the gold that's been found. Well, he has been known to dress up in full Captain Jack gear and go be that Captain Jack at the end of the ride. If you go on YouTube and put that in, Johnny Depp, um, Pirates of the Caribbean ride, you'll see. Oh, nice cat. Yeah, that is cool. So, so yeah, he's done that before on both coasts. He also will do that and just go to a children's hospital and interact with the kids and things like that. It's you know he he seems like he's a really good guy overall. I know he was in a lawsuit with his ex lady and things like that, but he does do some good stuff. So I'm never going to discredit doing some good stuff. Yep, Captain Jack. So, all right. Well, we've been live 53 minutes. I'm going to drop off here in the next 5 minutes, but Sweets and Beyond, I love what you just said there. Thinking of getting another annual pass. Huge Mario fan, and Donkey Kong was my game. Well, if you remember in Donkey Kong Country, when you used to get in the mine cars, you would have to jump sometimes. So the track would end and you'd have to jump so it got to another track. The Donkey Kong roller coaster ride is supposed to do that, and I've seen the testing of it, and it looks really cool. They do that. It actually jumps off the track. So between that and then Super Mario World, them having me too, um, them having a Mario Kart as one of the rides there. You can shoot bananas at people and turtles shells at people. It's pretty cool. But from what I understand, and I didn't see all of it, but I believe on the West Coast when theirs opened, um, they had things like the wand in Harry Potter Land. You could either get a Princess Peach, a toadstool, a star. It was kind of like a wand, and it did stuff all throughout Super Mario World. So Might want to look into that because that'll make the experience. Oh, she'd shoot it at me if she could, but she'd shoot it right down my mouth because ugh, she has to force it because not my thing. But yeah, I've always been a Disney lover, so nothing against Universal. It's a good park, but it doesn't make me feel the same way Disney does. But yeah, I was all in Disney. Disney cruises. I had the Disney Vacation Club, which is their timeshare um, program, and would go to Disney all the time. I'll never forget. Me and my friend Rhonda, we spent New Year's Eve, actually, no, Christmas Eve, in a two-bedroom villa at, it's probably not going to make sense to some, but it's called Bay Lake Tower. Bay Lake Tower is as close as you're going to get to the Magic Kingdom. So our view was of the Magic Kingdom. Got to stand on the balcony, watch the Christmas fireworks. On the balcony, they played the music from the fireworks show, and it was amazing. It was like 10 grand for the weekend, but because I had the vacation club, I just used my points from the vacation club, and it didn't cost me 10 grand for the weekend. I didn't pay anything well, I won't say I didn't pay anything because I bought the vacation club, but yeah, it was a great experience. It's something I would have never been able to do without having ownership in the vacation club. It was pretty cool. But all right, so 57 minutes. That's gonna do it for me tonight. I've had a great time. I will be live again tomorrow. It's a Wednesday. I'm not sure yet what the topic's going to be, but I will figure that out and I will schedule it. So I got a lot of great comments and hey, Jen, I know you're going to be going live soon, so I will see you there. I'll be dropping in to say hi and show the same love and support. I appreciate it. But yes, I've been receiving a lot of sweet and kind messages today. Um, to the person, I always keep it private. Unless you make yourself known, there's no reason for me to call you out. But to the person who sent me a Snapchat after the show last night, that was so unexpected and kind. Um, Never feel like you have to do that, but it's really appreciated. I really mean that. That was very much appreciated. So, good night, Maria. Thank you again for coming in here, and I'm going to watch yours on replay after I leave Jen's chat. And yes, it was my pleasure for sharing, everybody. So, Kat, Sam, Cree, Babs, Kat, Maria, Jen, Peepygate, um, all the other sweets, Sam. I really appreciate you all being here. I know there was ones who came in earlier. Health, Wealth, and Hope had to leave. Um, just very appreciative of all the love and support I've been receiving. The messages I get through either text message or on Instagram, just wow, just really blow my mind how nice and caring people are. It means a lot. And Daisy Girl, you have yourself a wonderful night. So everybody, have a great. I can't believe it's going to be Wednesday already. Have a great Wednesday tomorrow. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow night. So enjoy the rest of your night. God bless and good night.